Head, arms, legs.
Mm-hmm.
Came off no problem. I mean, the legs fell off right about the knee. Wrapped him up, put him in the car, took the shovel, and I scooped him into the trash can.
The woman coldly recounting the butchering of a dead body is Rose Chase, who is now being questioned for ruthlessly murdering her husband, Adam Chase. Rose pushed Adam down a staircase and concealed his decomposing remains in the basement for 6 weeks, later dismembering his rotting body at another location. The investigation began after the authorities received this desperate 911 call.
911 Center, what's the location, the emergency?
Adam Chase, I found the body of Adam Chase. I want Sheriff Potville to call me immediately on this number.
6 months later, police found Adam's buried remains in Yates County, New York. Knowing her role in the brutal murder, Rose delivers a shocking confession, proving investigators right about this evil killer's true nature.
He's cross-legged like this, and I struggled to get him into this position.
Faced with such disturbing revelations, detectives are about to determine what pushed Rose to commit such a horrifying act. Before infamy, 31-year-old Adam seemed to have it all. 30-year-old high school sweetheart Rose, family, the American dream. But behind Rose's innocent facade hid an evil criminal with dark obsessions. Adam discovered Rose's affair on June 14, 2012, in Seneca, New York. A simple argument over this led Rose to push him down the stairs. What followed next was a story so disturbing that even the seasoned detectives were left terrified.
I know you've talked to John here quite a bit. You've been down to your mom's house, and you kind of showed him what was going on down there. How about, when you were taking him out of the house, did you cut him up or anything? Did you need any tools or anything? Or
No.
Because if you did, where would those be?
He just fell apart.
Okay. So when we were in there the night that we came over, me and Investigator Durgan,
Yes.
where in the basement was he?
The part that I told you the light wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I had skids along the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and he was underneath all this stuff that was in that corner.
How'd you get him there?
I
By yourself?
dragged him.
And he's a pretty big guy. And, when somebody can't move, it's hard to move.
It was very difficult.
Okay.
I will admit it was difficult.
Okay. Mark doesn't know anything about this?
He found out tonight
Okay.
when...
Was he involved in any portion of getting Adam out of the house?
No. I did not want him to know what happened.
What precipitated all this? I mean, obviously, his boss talked to him early that morning, 9:30,
Mm-hmm.
right? The day that he called into work, is that when this happened?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what happened?
Him and I called into work so this way we could work things out.
Okay.
He went back to sleep after he called up his boss.
Okay.
I tried waking him up. It took me a while, but he finally got up. He went upstairs to grab a smoke. Then he started to go on the computer, and I thought we were going to talk about this. Started arguing again about
Mm-hmm.
the fact that Mark kissed me. And I go, yes, it was only a kiss.
Right.
I went to grab him. He did push me away. I went to grab him again. And I don't know if he tried to push me away again or if I tried to grabbed him wrong, but his foot caught the stairs and he tumbled down the stairs. And he rolled down the stairs. Rolled down the stairs. And just laid there. I don't remember him falling forward. I don't remember him falling back. I just remember him falling to the side. I paused. I go, Adam, you okay? hesitated, shook him a little bit, waited a few more minutes, still wasn't moving. I shook him again, still wasn't moving. Looked to see if he had a pulse. I didn't really
Where'd you check?
Checked his wrist.
Okay. Did you check his neck at all? To see if he had one there?
No.
Okay. All right, keep going.
Then I just waited a few more minutes, and then he started to wet himself.
Okay.
I panicked. I didn't know if any of the neighbors heard anything.
He started wetting himself after, it was about 5 minutes.
It was about 5 minutes afterwards.
He started wetting himself. Did you think that was any indication of he could have still been alive, or?
I don't know.
Did you maybe, when you started doing that, you kind of thought, did you shake him again, Brian, or Adam? Or you just assumed it was,
after he wet himself, I just assumed he was dead.
The detectives are watching their steps while asking Rose for the exact events, and lo and behold, this sociopathic monster doesn't show the complete picture. Investigative records indicate that Adam's decomposing remains had been hidden in a dark corner for over a month, producing the overwhelming odor. Furthermore, Rose doesn't realize that authorities had already questioned Adam's mother, Sylvia, regarding the kissing interactions between her and Mark. Sylvia confirmed she forwarded the photo of Rose with Mark to Adam on June 12th, after receiving it from his sister. Investigative records prove that Sylvia was unconvinced by Rose's excuse that Mark was just a gay friend. Following Adam's disappearance for 2 days, Sylvia called Rose for answers. Rose claimed Adam stormed out after an argument on June 14th, but the truth is, Adam was already dead. Sylvia's suspicions drove her to file a missing person report that helped trigger the investigation. What comes next is a chilling chain of details that ultimately led to Adam's murder.
So I actually dragged him by his feet into the lower part of the basement, got him so this way he was cross-legged like this, and I struggled to get him into this position.
Okay.
And that's when I put the tarp. That's when I put everything on top of it.
Anything more than a tarp? I mean, plastic?
No, it was my son's kiddie pool that he was originally over top of him. I had all the skids of stuff surrounding him. Then I put long pieces of board over top of it, and I made it look like a table.
Rose's mother, Patricia, urged Adam to seek counseling due to his excessive preoccupation with online gaming, which Rose describes as addiction. Clearly, Rose wouldn't have admitted the truth without Rodney, the private investigator's involvement in December 2012. Investigative reports reveal that the last time anyone saw Adam Chase was June 14, 2012, the day he and Rose had a clash over his video game obsession and her extramarital affair. Rose contacted police to report Adam missing, however, became noticeably anxious when authorities searched the home, and a cadaver dog detected the scent of human remains in the basement on June 18th. 6 months later, Rodney already had a suspicion that Rose might be the main culprit behind Adam's disappearance, so he reached out to her son's babysitter and sought their help. As Rose went to pick up her son, the babysitter trapped her by mentioning a lead discovered by the detectives and that someone's about to be arrested soon. Being in a state of panic, Rose contacted Rodney on December 13, 2012, and confessed everything to him. But this is only the beginning of a harrowing story. As the investigators delve deeper, more unsettling revelations from Rose will come to light.
Just to clarify a couple of things. His cell phone. Do you send those text messages?
I did.
Okay. The laptop computer, where'd that go?
I got it out of my house.
Okay. The note that was hung up on the fridge, if this was him falling down the stairs, why do we go through all this? I mean, what do we go through all this for? Help me figure this out, because...
At first, I thought everyone was going to think it was a murder.
Mm-hmm.
That I offed him on purpose. And then after I hit the body, the dogs came in. I thought I got pretty lucky. I was going to turn myself in several times.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that kept shying me away from turning myself in was how his family acted.
Mm-hmm. So what do you mean by that?
As in, what they were doing was, pissing me off.
Mm-hmm.
How about they were, saying that I did all this stuff without physical evidence, and it really pissed me off, and I just wanted...
So this drags on mostly because of their treatment of you after this happens?
Correct.
Like, why would you think that we would think you murdered him? I mean, we were talking about it in the car. I mean, you tried to grab him. He fell down the stairs. I mean, you saw him at the bottom of the stairs. Remember, people would call 911, try to get him some help. And there's nobody else there that saw this argument, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so do you think that maybe you pushed him? It's a natural reflex. I wouldn't blame you if you did. If somebody's shoving me, my natural reflex is to shove him back. You didn't do it on purpose.
I don't remember pushing. I remember grabbing his arm, but I don't remember pushing him in that direction.
But I mean, did you grab him to pull him towards you? I mean, why did you grab his arm?
I just grabbed him to get his attention.
Or, just throwing this out there, if he makes it, does he tell us something different about what happened up there?
I don't think he would have told you anything different. Only thing...
Well, here's what we're trying to figure out, Rose. This is the part that's confusing to all of us. If this is truly an accident, if you two are squabbling at the top of the stairs, he slips, falls, breaks his neck, whatever happened to him.
I think
Well, hang on. The first natural reaction from anybody, I don't care if it's your mortal enemy, is going to be to try to get this guy some help. The thing that I keep hearing is that you're going to turn yourself in, that, if the first deputy that shows up saw him, you were going to get arrested. If this was an accident, and none of that happens that way, that just tells me that if Adam doesn't perish from his injuries, that maybe he tells us a different story about what happened on that stairwell.
what I was afraid of, if Adam didn't perish on that stairwell, was that the truth about Tristan's DNA was going to come out. It came out anyway, but the first thing that was going through my head was, okay, Adam died. Can one of you stand up for a second?
Sure. So I'm closer.
Okay. Top of the stairs.
Okay.
Okay. I grabbed your arm.
Go ahead. Yeah.
And he went to push me away again.
Okay.
And this time, I blocked him.
Okay.
Foot's right there at the stairs.
Mm-hmm. So
Got
you hit
him. I didn't hit him hard.
Okay.
But my hand brushed against his face.
Okay.
Down.
Did you fall down the stairs too?
No.
Okay.
Because I grabbed the guardrail.
Okay. All right.
And I just watched him fall. I don't know how many times he...
So there was enough momentum as you were swatting at him, there was enough momentum where you almost went down the stairs too. Is that? But you grabbed the guardrail. He obviously didn't have a chance to. And again, this wasn't the first go round for you two having a problem like this. The difference is this time, now you have Tristan. Now he's also using Tristan as an investigative tool to figure out what's going on. You know, the keylogger wasn't bad enough. Have an identical phone to yours wasn't enough. Now he's involving your son, because it's not Adam's son. You know that.
Again, the so-called caring wife Rose is not being completely truthful. Rose doesn't mention how she got rid of Adam's phone and laptop. According to the investigators, Adam's phone was found discarded at a roadside near a place in Canandaigua. So, this doesn't add up with how badly Rose wanted to turn herself in. Fortunately, Rose gives out one of the most chilling confessions amid all her lies. She didn't want Adam to find out the real details of her son's DNA. This means that her motive for killing Adam goes beyond a domestic scuffle gone wrong. Therefore, to uncover the complete story, the investigators are about to manipulate Rose during the interrogation.
He's involving your son in this mess, and this is it. You've had enough. Anybody can see how that happens. You know, I mean, we've pretty much to the point.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But in the same note,
at the beginning of that day, it was trying to cover my.
Well, because you got away with it before, right?
And
I mean, you were able to deny your way out of this kind of stuff before.
Correct.
So
this time I was trying to cover my ass, but then I came out.
Mm-hmm. And when that came out, Tristan's true father, I mean, you didn't tell him who the father was, right? You just told him it wasn't him.
Correct.
And obviously that sets him off to a new level than he's been at before, because he's had suspicions about infidelity before, which, you know, whatever came of them, came of them. Now he's sure. And then on top of that, we've got him now knowing that Tristan's not his. And he's mad, you're mad, and things just escalate. You know, I mean, it's.
But my whole intent for when he was right there, I didn't want him to fall down the stairs. I just wanted to get his attention. I wanted to talk to him. That was the whole thing, was that we were mainly going to talk. That he just went back to the computer. That really pissed me off.
Well, he spent most of his life at the computer. He ignored your son because he was at the computer.
Yeah, I know that.
You know? I mean, let's call a spade. We got to be honest here. And that made you mad too. Because I don't know any mother in the world that would prefer their husband, and even if he doesn't know at that point that the fact that he didn't know that Tristan wasn't his kind of makes it worse. Because that's your own son, and you're playing video games.
Currently, one of the investigators assumes the good cop role. By playing the understanding listener, the detective gives Rose just enough emotional space to believe she can control the narrative, when in reality, every pause and admission is being used against her. This is a vital part of deceptive interrogation tactic, a method designed to lure the suspect into disclosing their role to a seemingly sympathetic detective. Rose's silence in the next turn of questioning is about to confirm her guilt and her desire to come clean.
I mean, I can understand your frustration, though.
People are going to understand the anger here. They're going to understand it. They're going to understand if you pushed them.
Yeah, another thing that was going through my head at the same time was, hey, if he's dead, you don't have to worry about waking him up anymore. It's spending 2 hours trying to wake him up.
You guys had a tough relationship.
So again, that's something people are going to understand. What they're not going to understand is you being clear about everything else except for that one point in time. They're not going to understand that.
It was your car that you were taking him down to your mom's house in.
Correct.
His car used at all?
No.
For any of it? Okay.
No, I just moved it.
What were you using? Blankets, rugs? What were you rolling them up in? I mean, what was the biggest piece that you had to get out of there by yourself? I mean, his torso? I mean,
the torso part.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Tell me about it.
Well, alright. Head, arms, legs,
Mm-hmm.
came off no problem.
Alright. Now,
Well,
came off, you mean it just kind of fell off?
Fell off. I mean,
Okay.
the legs fell off right about the knees.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is the real creepy part. The torso itself. I went to lift it up once. I put it on a trash bag.
Mm-hmm.
Wrapped it up, took a blanket, lifted it up to where the sub pump was. I went upstairs, opened up the car door,
Mm-hmm.
back hatch. And as I'm lifting up the torso part, it hits my keys and the car alarm is going off. I wrapped him up,
Mm-hmm.
lifted him up, put him in the car, and I remember my car alarm goes off, and of course I got his legs and his arms in there first, then the
Mhm.
torso goes off. One of my neighbors came out, I shut the door,
Mm-hmm.
and, they were like, hey, was that your car alarm? I go, yeah. I hit the button by mistake. I thought when I was carrying him down the ramp that he was gonna slip out of me.
Patricia, Rose's mother, learned what happened only after Rose transported Adam's body to her property in Porter Yates County late in July 2012, where she dismembered it and burned the remains in a trash can. On June 14, 2012, Patricia had spoke to Adam regarding Rose's relationship with Mark. Mirroring her narrative to Sylvia, Rose told her mother that Adam had stormed out after their argument, a lie Patricia innocently shared with the authorities. Rose's doom was sealed when she made the critical slip-up of telling Rodney that she had burned Adam after dismembering him. When the detectives arrived to look for his remains, she directed them to her mother's residence. This is where she pointed at a trash can where she said she packed his burned remains. And as if these confessions aren't sickening enough, Rose is about to give away another statement that would add further to the horror.
So what made you think to burn him? And where'd you...
Because he always wanted to be cremated. That's the one thing he wanted, was to be cremated. He didn't want a sappy funeral. He didn't want anybody to play those sad songs. He just wanted to be cremated and pretty much to have it alive. Before anybody could see it, I took the shovel and I scooped them into the trash can. My mom came over and said, "What are you doing? The fire's already out." I said, "I just want to make sure that everything's out, just to make sure that, just to take care of stuff." Because there was also some nails from the wood. I go, "See, there's nails. I don't want you to hit it with your lawnmower and send it flying somewhere."
We got a 5.5, almost 6 month history, 6 months tomorrow, of not really being truthful here. This is the time to lay it on the table, because we can't keep doing what we've been doing.
Anybody hearing your story is going to say, hell yeah, I would have pushed him too. You know?
And subconsciously, I did want to push him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So did you?
I'm going to have to say yes.
Okay.
I went to grab his arm. He went to take me away again. And with that hit on the head, it was more disorient once I seen that he lost his footing, so this way he didn't grab the railing downstairs.
Where'd you push him? Once you saw that was he trying to grab for the railing?
I still had a hold of his arm at the time,
Okay.
and it was just a final.
But you knew he was falling, so
Yeah.
you gave a final shove because you wanted him to fall down those stairs.
Yeah.
Because you were pissed.
Grabbed a bag out from the kitchen. Wiggled the bag underneath him. Still wasn't doing anything. Got him on that bag. I mean, it was one of those heavy-duty tarps, almost like what you use for lining of a waterbed.
Okay. Big, thick, heavy.
Yeah. That made it a little bit easier to drag him into.
Mm-hmm.
After I got him to the stairwell in the, right in front of the basement, still wasn't moving anything, he didn't do anything. I actually cleared all those doors and stuff out of the stairwell, giving myself some more room. Grabbed him. He's still not moving. Got him right there. He's right there on the platform, and I gave him another shove into the basement. I couldn't carry him.
Mm-hmm.
I just let gravity.
Just let him slide down the stairs.
Let gravity do
Okay.
its work.
Did he tumble there? Or
He tumbled
slide?
there. He hit his head and started bleeding. At the bottom of the stairwell, there was some blood.
Okay.
And I only remember the blood there because when I went to put him in the corner, when I went to lift him up, where his head hit me,
Mm-hmm.
there was some blood on my clothes, so I had to wash it.
Mm-hmm.
So I washed my clothes. I also bleached the bottom of the stairs.
Rose's actions reveal deliberate planning and brutality, and her public plea for her husband's return proved to be entirely rehearsed and dishonest.
Adam, if you are seeing this, can you please come home to your family? They really do miss you.
While the cameras captured a grieving wife begging for her husband's safe return, the truth was that she already knew he was dead and hidden in pieces. This propels the detectives toward one aim, making certain this cold-blooded woman faces the full reach of justice. On January 15, 2014, Rose Chase received a sentence of 24 years to life in prison for second-degree homicide and evidence tampering following her conviction in October 2013. She will become eligible for parole in December 2036. Although a connected child endangerment conviction case was reversed in 2018, the murder sentence remained intact.